I'm not always talk the talk. Take y'all with me to my therapy session. I think I've made progress. So who would have thought? I turned 31 1 month ago, and I was depressed more than I could ever imagine. COVID happened. I don't know why the gym is not open. I got my heart broken. I lost a family member. I almost lost another family member. You get laid off from your job, and then next thing you know, I myself am also in the hospital. I'm like, of course, through all that, there is a bit of depression. There is a bit of, wow, life just got hella hard for me. Exactly 10 years ago, I was this 20-year-old kid, had no idea what I wanted to do, and trembling and shaking turning on this camera. Fast forward another 10 years, here I am doing the whole thing over again. Except I'm losing my hair a little bit, but you're like, Peter, you're not balding. I'm like, I started developing alopecia areata. So now I'm a little older, a little bald, but here I am still talking to the internet because it's something I truly love doing. But this depression has been not really my cup of tea. It was something that I was not ready to deal with and face head on. And just like in any typical Peter fashion, I ran away from it. But I think it's time that I finally face this. Face this and show you how I'm actually gonna heal and walk you through my own depression. So maybe you out there, whoever is dealing with mental issues and mental health, can also find a little bit of light in their darkness. To be a man this day and age, it's really tough. Let's be honest. You have to show strength. You have to make a lot of money. You have to be someone other than you yourself because nobody cares about your problems. Like this comment right here. Go get therapy. No one wants to hear about your sob story. Guess what? For the past 3 years, since COVID, I have been going through therapy. I'm going to show you and talk about why it has actually been helping me. So I'm not about all talk. I'm actually going to walk you through one of my sessions today of what it's actually like, because some of y'all might be like, oh my god, I want to, but I don't really. Should I? What is it? What is it even like? But when it comes to depression, I don't think, me personally, I have genetic predisposed clinical depression. There may be some factors in my family where I am more prone to deal with negative consequences in not the best way, but for the most part, a lot of my life, I was not always depressed. If I turn on the camera, it's like I become someone else, so you can also like see that version of me.
We'll see.
Which is why like I suggested like just record maybe 10 minutes and then I can turn it off and then I can like get into it. But I feel like I put on this like Superman, I got this, and then the minute I turn it off I'm like, shit, I'm still pretty down or depressed. I'm like, it's a lot of like me editing for other people, and I feel like I lost that initial drive. Because as I was thinking about this, I'm like, yes, I was insecure, but like I used to go to like UBC and SFU and just like talk to like the prettiest girls or guys and like just interview them, even though I was like shaking and terrifying. Like I did it, and I didn't have anybody's permission, and it made me realize like, yes, I like posting videos, but also like putting myself out there. I believe that it was my own inability to talk and deal with all my negative consequences and situations in a healthy manner that made me start to hate myself. That made me put everything the blame on me. And coming from an Asian household and family, especially that they were really poor, you never, ever, one, have the resources, and two, have the mental awareness to talk about yourself in a positive manner. Like, cool story, that's cute, depression, get out of here, you know? I used to think like that too, until you actually go through something very devastating. You wake up and you're like, I feel exhausted. The things I used to like doing, I don't like doing anymore. Life just became so numb. And that's when I realized I needed to face the biggest thing that I've been running away from. Not you that's watching, me.
But as you see yourself grow, do you feel more of yourself?
Yes and no. I feel like when sometimes I turn on the camera, like I go into like presenter mode, and it doesn't feel. It feels like I'm trying to. It's like talking to my parents, where I have to be strong. I can't show weakness. It's the same thing with like making content, where like no one particularly wants to hear someone that's like depressed, and, like not doing anything about it.
So in your impression, people want to hear about the hero's story.
Yeah.
When they've been through hardship, they fought the demon, and then came out the other side with.
Do I need to have like a six pack to like be accepted on the internet? But I think it just came down to everything that I put my worth in, coming from an Asian immigrant household and family, it was on the outside. I needed to have a high paying job. Money was so important. I needed to look good. I needed someone, a girl, a relationship to prove to me, myself, that I had value. So yes, I understand. I need to keep going, and like even me making this, I feel like I need some sort of like momentum. I can't just stay there and like wallow. And I feel like that's what I've been doing for the past couple of years. Like yes, personal growth, but I feel like I haven't, like you said, like it hasn't grown in terms of the business. But because if I lost everything, I lost myself, and that is where therapy came in handy. That is where you needed to pick apart exactly where did these thoughts start happening. Because a lot of you that watch this video, you don't realize that a lot of your thoughts and decisions are made on past experiences, past conditioning that you have that you might not be aware of. So this is me when I was around 6, 7 years old. And I grew up in a really poor family. Nothing was ever given to me. I didn't really have a lot of money. And my parents were never home. So a lot of my childhood was just me in front of a TV. And how does a child develop properly and socially when for most of their childhood don't really have much memories? A lot of memories that I have is just me watching TV and waiting for my parents to come home. There were days where I would just tuck myself back into bed as a 7-year-old kid. I'm like, okay. But then I went around school, and then people always talked about having dinners, right? Doing groups and family things. And I believe that's when I started to feel like I hated myself. That's when I feel like, why do they have something like connection and family that I don't? But at that time, I could not pick apart that weight. I'm not as privileged as those kids. The next is my physical health. I've always worked out, but once you turn 30, you kind of gain quite a bit of weight. You kind of binge on your diet. You start partaking in alcohol and substances. And that's one of the things where I'm like the past 3 years during this depression phase of mine is I need to cut everything out. No more leisurely drinking. No more relying on something, because you realize, especially social media, as my own content addiction, all these addictions that I have, there were just coping mechanisms because I couldn't deal with who I was. So as I start picking up healthier habits, I'm able to, one, feel better and have more energy. Like I don't do it. I don't work out, bro, to look good, to get girls to like me. I do it so I don't, it's my saving grace. When nothing's going right, at least I stay disciplined. Like, is it gonna change everything? No. Is it for everybody? Probably not. But for me, coming from Asian immigrant parents, never really taught anything about your emotions, it can be a life changer. That shot of like me holding the door. Call it a day. Awesome. You were not gonna repeat your generational trauma. You are not going to repeat whatever has happened or has happened onto you. This channel represented that because I needed to embody that. Broke the habit, what that meant to me is not necessarily me breaking out. Maybe it does. But what broke the habit meant to me was I was special. And I was going to lead the way, no matter how hard life got, that I was going to persevere. That I was going to keep moving forward. Even though there are times where I feel like I'm all alone, that no one has my back, not even myself, that I was going to keep moving forward. I still got one more thing I gotta do. And here's another chapter of the Broke the Habit journey. Come with me. Even if you hate me, bro. Even if you hate me. You watch, you still watching. You still watching. At least I'm still watching.